He's He's personally developed 57 branch managers and 21 district managers. Again, 57 branch managers and 21 district managers. That's huge, and people could say, oh, well, that's like an average of 2 district managers a year, by the way, that he's developed since being a DM, and that's pretty badass. 12-time President's Banquet winner, 11 years in a row over $1 million, broken a gazillion freaking records. Yeah. If you go to the factory, which many of you went, he is right next to me in the Hall of Fame. Yep, we're right next to each other, the two most good-looking people, and I'm excited for him to bring it. So I'm gonna hand it to you, Trey. Trey is someone that I love so much in this business, one of my best friends, and just a firecracker. And I'm excited for you guys to get to hear from him.
All right, beautiful. Let's do this thing. So, all right, we got a wide range of people on here, right? So we have some DOMs, we have some new DMs and vet DMs. Hey, just raise your hand if you're, not running your own office right now, like you're a DOM or like a head assistant manager. Okay, so one. Okay, raise your hand if you're a new DM. You've been open for like 8 months. Okay, all right, and then vet DM's been open year 2, 3. Okay. All right. Cool. Robbie, what are you, bro? You didn't raise your hand. What are you?
My bad. I'm an assistant manager.
Assistant manager. All right. Cool. If y'all don't have background noise, just stay unmuted because I want to have more of a conversation. And that's where I want it to go. All right. So, topic is development, right? So, my first question, and I'm going to have y'all journal some stuff, and I'm going to have y'all write some stuff along the way. First thing I want to do is I want y'all to go ahead and take a couple minutes, and I want you to write down why do you want development this summer? So why do you want a DOM? Why do you want assistant managers? Why do you want branches? Why do you want development? And then I'm going to have y'all go around and share it. I'll put a little journaling music on for you just because I'm feeling extra journaling music-y today. Can y'all hear it?
That's my jam.
My meditating music, the journaling music. All right. Why do you want DMs? Why do you want branches? Why do you want to have an office staff? And I want to hear from everybody, to be clear. So why is it important to have a summer staff? Why is it important to have a DOM? Why is it important to have these things? I know the goal for most of your offices is to have 5 to 7. So 5 to 7 assistant managers. You want some that are shadowing, some that are on social media, some that are, field training assistants. Why is this important for your organization and for your lifestyle and for you? I gave you 20 more seconds. 20 more seconds. All right, cool. Let's go around the horn. All right, so let's start it off with John. Let's go, John.
Awesome. Thank you, Trey. Love the music. Number one for me, just why bigger impact. You obviously a big army is always going to be a small army. Team culture and family. One of my biggest goals in life is I want to open up a youth baseball organization. So I think of this as like my mini all-star team. And I think I want to be able to kind of like crush life with people. And I kind of look at my staff, my district team as that. Provide the opportunity for so many others. The district manager opportunity, management, myself is the first time like Cutco, Vector management, first time someone really believed in me that I could do something at a high power level and have responsibility, not screw it up completely. So thank you, Kathy. And it really changed my life. And I want to be able to do that for other people. I don't know what she saw in me, and she's much taller than I am too. So I don't know where anyway, also this is going to be kind of weird, but stay young. These kids just, they're so bright, they're so intuitive, they just think so high caliber, and it just helps me, stay. It motivates me, like I don't know everything, kind of put my ego to the side and just keep those, I'm old, but those young years moving in my head. So keeping up with the times and staying young, and then I want to bring home a district cup. I think that'd be really cool to win a district team silver cup. So those are kind of like my whys for development.
Nice, John. All right. So, yep, Kathy is a little taller, right? So the vision from higher up can help you see a little further, right?
Yes.
I'm sure that we could all go back to, I'm not going to turn this into like a Cutco, like an opportunity talk, right? But man, I was 17 when I started. I was a young punk kid. I was hanging out with the wrong people. I was getting in trouble. And Larry Manley saw something in me, right? And there's no telling where I would be without that man for sure. So staying sharp. So if I'm hearing you right, making an impact on people and in your communities, to be able to have family and lifestyle, you can't have that without the development. You can have family, but you won't have the lifestyle. Provide the opportunity for people, and as you're developing more people, it continuously makes you have to stay sharp because you're leading leaders, right? It's easy to lead. I guess it's not really easy to lead anybody, but it's easier to lead a 3K rep to get to 6K than it is, a branch manager candidate to go out and open a business and actually go out and succeed. Okay. So John, thank you for sharing, sir. Okay, we'll give you a little clap in there. Okay, good job, John. Okay, good job, baby.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hey,
Thanks,
someone had
guys.
to kick us off. Someone had to kick us off. Hey, let me hear Robbie, since he didn't want to raise his hand earlier. Robbie, okay, what did you write down there? Why is it important? New things. Let's not repeat the same things.
Well, I personally want development like within myself so I can expand my resume to help me towards a better future. This year, I'm probably going to stay as an assistant manager because I have this other job that I work in the summer that pays me very well. Not saying that this job doesn't pay me well, but it's like kind of this opportunity that I got when I was younger, and I don't want to just throw it away at this exact moment in my life. So I'm probably going to take this summer to just more so focus on myself and expanding my resume here. And then hoping next summer to be able to branch for myself with all the experience I've learned from my past summers.
Very good. Very good. All right. Let's give it up for Robbie. A little jazz hands would be fine. A little jazz hands. There we go. Okay. Now, I think it depends on what level you're at the business, right? If I'm an assistant manager, why do I want more development this summer? So I don't have to do everything, right? I want other people to help me, right? I want to be like the head assistant manager or the dom, so I can be coaching these people along the way, right? If you're a new DM, well, do you want to run every single function, right? My buddy Matt King, he always told me that you can't be the recruiter and the developer, right? Maybe that'd be something that I would write down. Hey, I mean, how are you going to develop people if you're in 3 interviews every day, right? I mean, you're missing all the incoming calls, right? You're not having the development conversations, right? We need these people to be able to do the things that we want to do. Let me hear from one last person. We're going to go with Megan. Hey, we're going with Megan. Let's do this thing.
Ew. Okay. One that I wrote was just I want to build up confidence in myself to know that I'm worth following and worth learning from as well. It has been hard for me to develop staff. Like asking for help has always been a hard thing for me. And so asking for help with like developing staff, that can be really difficult as well. So just to know that I'm actually worth learning from would be good. And then also, you kind of mentioned it before, but needing people who can do things that I am maybe not the best at, so I don't have to do everything. And then also, I started on a big team as well. I actually started under Mr. John Gradell, and we had a big team, and that was more fun to me. And so I want that kind of culture too.
Perfect. Hey, maybe that's all right. So thank you. Let's give her a little jazz hands there. Thank you very much for sharing, Miss Megan. All right. So having other people to help with your weaknesses, I would just get that one down. So I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at, right? I'm not good with technology, right? So when kids have questions on vector impact, I'm not the guy, right? If people have questions on a lot of technology things, I'm not that guy. So I know that I need to have a technology person on staff that can help these people this coming up summer. So that's one of the things that I'm looking for, right? Absolutely, Megan. I mean, I was at a poker game with some of my buddies, not in Cutco, like my buddies outside of Cutco. And one of them asked me how long I've been with Cutco. That was the first time I met this guy, and I was like, yeah, 23 years, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I bet you can tell within 1 second if someone's going to succeed at a high level or not. And I was like, absolutely, I can. And Megan, I can tell in 1 second on this call that you're absolutely somebody worth following. Hey, you're an amazing leader. Hey, I can just tell you're attentive. You're one of the first people on. I think that we would vibe. We'd probably get along great. So I'll see you at SLC. Okay. Now, but sometimes it is like the gratification of knowing, right? When you have a bunch of districts and a bunch of branches, right? It's just kind of like instead of me telling myself like I know, right? We could go back and say, okay, so everybody wrote down the pros to having a big staff. You could probably say, what are the cons, right? And it would just be the opposite of all of them, right? Am I really worth following, right? Man, I'm going to have these big weaknesses next summer and I'm not going to be able to help people. Am I going to be able to stay sharp if I keep doing the same thing and don't grow my district? Am I going to be able to provide the opportunity or not? Am I going to be able to have lifestyle or am I going to be a slave to my phone? Am I going to be able to be there for my family? I don't know where y'all are at with your family life, but I've got 2 kids and, I need to be able to shut off at, 5 o'clock is, my deal. I'm at a different level right now with family and stuff. I don't know where y'all are at with yours. Maybe you have a couple kids too, right? So you got to have someone who can answer those calls. You don't want to be answering PDI with at the dinner table, right? And making that impact. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and get more into the message for time's sake here. But I do have a keynote and a few things that I want to share with y'all. I hate when I hit play because I can't see your faces. If y'all can just unmute and give me a little yes, I can see this.
Yes, I can see this.
We can see this.
All right. So I want to kind of shape your thinking on really what our job actually is. Is our job to recruit people and teach them how to sell, right? Or is our job to develop others? And of course, the way I phrased the question, of course, the answer is to develop others. But do you go into every single day and every single week thinking that? Hey, when you do your power hour and you take an hour to plan out the week, hey, are you really like intentionally focused on who am I developing to take it to the next level? Every division's different and we're in even different regions, right? But I think that nothing's really changed here, right? So you have a team, right? And so for note taking, I'd say my job is to develop other people. Now, you have a team, right? Your job is to get that rep, that fast starter, that 3K person. Your job is to get them on the key staff, right? Get them on the key staff. Hopefully y'all have a key staff, like a weekly key staff meeting. If not, I've given Kathy my syllabus for the fall and all y'all are welcome to join it. It's going to be high powered awesomeness, 5 to 6 p.m. on Wednesday, my time. So that's an hour earlier for y'all. So 4 to 5. I'm going to be finalizing my syllabus for the spring campaign by no later than Monday, and I'll share it with Kathy, and y'all can feel free to get your people on for free. I've got $1 million reps teaching topics, and I've got district managers teaching topics, but you got to get them on key staff. Hey, so our job is to get them from reps to key staffs to the Leadership Academy, TLA, whatever you may call it. From the Leadership Academy to assistant manager to branch manager to district manager. That's the job, right? Our job is to develop other people. Our job is to duplicate ourselves. I don't think that anybody signed up wanted to be a district manager because you wanted to run every interview, you wanted to take every single phone call, you wanted to do every single function, and you wanted to work, 60 plus hours a week, right? So our job is to duplicate other people. I want you to think about, what is the vision? Hey, what is the vision of your mega district? Okay, I'd probably write that. What's the vision of my mega district? And I'm not saying this summer, I'm not saying even 2 summers from now, but we are going to end with that. Where do I want my business to look like summer of 2024? But what I will tell you is that I think, and by the way, all of those branches and districts I promoted, that wasn't my division. That was like my office. Okay, so I just want to clarify that. I remember the best year I ever had, I had 4 districts and 4 branches, all from my single office when I was a district manager. And they were badass districts. They'd all branched and done over averaged around 150,000. So 4 of them, right? And they were all at least 50 to 100K in personal sales, some of them higher, right? And 4 badass branches. Do you know how awesome it is Hey, do you know how awesome even just those paychecks are with 4 district promotions and 4 branches every single week? And then the new pay structure is ridiculous, getting matched on all of their monthly bonuses for 5 campaigns, right? A year and 8 months, right? Like you're heavily incentivized to put out butt kickers, right? So maybe that's too big for you to think right now, having 4 districts and 4 branches, but maybe not, right? But right now, if you've never had a branch, hey, could you have 2 branches the next summer, right? Could you develop them the right way where they could be a PSM or they could be, a district following? So what is your vision of what you're building? Hey, I broke it down, and so what I got this broken down into corralling like new candidates, and then how to take your current candidates to the next level is how we're going to kind of break this talk up. So the first thing, so we're going to write down 6 things. So the first thing we're going to write down is, what do I need? What does my office need for the summer of 2023? You got less than 4 months. So less than 4 months right now. Hey, if summer started right now, what would you have? That right there may be scary, right? Literally 3 weeks ago, and I've been doing this a long time. I'm like, holy crap, Haley's going to be my PSM. And I'm like, dang, Haley, if we don't start developing the right way, like it's going to be you and me. Like you're going to be branching in Orlando, right? And then we're running training, right? And there's this one really sharp girl. Okay. And I'm like, Haley, this could be, our next assistant manager. And I'll talk about the conversations and how not to scare them away and give them too much too early. But if summer started right now, how are you looking? Right. I would assume most people, it's kind of scary. It's like, holy crap, I may have like a freaking 4K rep. I don't know. Right. And I get it. Okay. But I think the first question to write down is, what do I need summer of 2023? Did everybody write that question? Give me a little head nod. Okay. So for me, right, what I need is, I have my PSM. Okay. But let's take the PSM of it so we can all be on the same page, right? I need, no matter what, a recruiter, and I need a driver of sales, right? So a recruiter, I need someone that's a good looking, confident person to run interviews. And if you're dealing with family, then you probably want them to have the night interviews, so you're not, right? But for sure, everybody needs a recruiter, right, who can help you run your interviews, right? And then we all need someone that can be a driver of sales, whether it's someone who can close the sales, in the evening, someone who can help you with coaching calls as you build a big team, etc. Right? What else do you need? Right? Well, you might want a selling assistant manager. I'm just kind of giving you ideas to jot down, right? But a selling assistant manager, where their job's to go out and sell a grand or 2 every week, and to take people field training on every single demo. Maybe you need someone that's solely focused on social media advertising, right? They're your social media person. Maybe you want someone that's in charge of managing the receptionist and social media influencers, your SMs or your RAs, or some people call them SMRAs, right? What specifically do you need? That's a starting point, right? Because we can't get somewhere if we don't even know where we're at, right? It's kind of like if you go on your phone and you're like typing in directions. I mean, the first thing it says is, here's where you are, right? And then you have to type in where you want to go, and then it plans out the directions, right? It's the same thing here. If we don't know where we're trying to go, then you're not going to get there, right? So what specifically does your organization need? Hey, now you may have listed out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that you're looking for, right? So the next thing is, it's like, okay, well, who can fill those roles, right? So step 1 is, what do I need? Hey, number 2 is who can fill those roles? And you have to be on the hunt. So I'd write who can fill the roles, and then in all caps, be on the hunt. I know I needed a recruiter. I had this girl in training, and she's at like maybe 4K or something now, nothing stellar, but she's really sharp. She could do really well. She's got, I guess, 3 more days left in her fast start. I think she'll at least get to 6. Hey, But even on day one of training, right, I pulled her to the side. Side tip, I'm going to give y'all random tips. Have favorites. Start that one. Have favorites. Definitely have favorites. Where it's so obvious, right? I remember meetings where I'd run, I'm like, all right, favorite. Every campaign, I pick a new favorite, by the way, right? So let's say it was Daniela Stanginelli, right? Daniela, aka my favorite. Grab your chair, come on up, front middle, girl. You know my favorite sitting in the front middle. I'll say that in front of everybody, right? Everybody, oh, I want to be the favorite. I want to be the favorite, right? Okay, like very obviously have favorites. Okay, trust me. Okay, now, so I take this girl aside. Okay, I pull her into my office. I'm like, hey, why did I pull you in my office? End of day one, right? She's booked her 5, right? Yep. Well, they always think they're in trouble. I always make them feel like they're in trouble first. Like, grab a seat in my office. Okay, right? Then we come in, shut the door. Why'd I pull you in my office today? Hey, right? And they're all squirming in their chair a little bit. Hey, the reason I brought you in is because you're my freaking favorite, girl. Hey, you are so freaking awesome. Hey, I love everything about you. And then I'm going to tell her all the things that I like. I'm going to invite her in for a high flyer workshop the next morning. And then I say, look, you haven't even sold a knife yet. Hey, you're at $0 in sales. Hey, but I just want you to know that you have a lot of potential. And I don't want to like scare you or anything, but we are going to be adding on 5 assistant managers in May for the summer, because summer's like our busy season. And I just want you to know that I could see you playing in a leadership role. So look, again, you haven't even done a demo, you haven't even sold a knife, but I just want you to know that I think very highly of you. And if you do a good job as a sales position, I think that I definitely could have some advancement opportunities for you. I don't know if you'd be excited about that or not. Again, you haven't even sold a knife. See, again, all these pushaways. Again, you haven't even sold a knife. But I just want you to know that you have a lot of potential and I could see us working together well. Okay. So boom, 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 have an awesome day, blah, blah, blah. Right. Then I'm going to coach her up through her fast start. Right. And then once you get through her fast start, I'm going to get her on the key staff and I'm going to go through that bullet, that target, right. That bullseye. And I'm going to get her there. So the step 1 was, what do I need? Step 2 is be on the hunt. Okay. Step 3 is take inventory of what you currently have. So I don't know how many reps you have on your team. Let's just say hypothetically you have 10, just a round number, right? 10 reps. Hey, well, maybe 2 of them are just paying your butt and you don't even like talking to them. Okay, that's okay. It's probably there. Hey, but you got to say, okay, if I know I need a recruiter out of these 10 people, who could I develop in 4 months to be a great recruiter? Right? Hey, this person's a butt kicker, they're a good closer, right? Blah, blah, blah. This person could be my driver of sales, right? So be on the hunt, that take inventory of what you currently have. And the other thing is, what I'd write beside the take inventory, don't see them how they are right now. See them how they could be with 4 months of proper coaching and vision. You know, I think it was John. He was like, I don't even know what Kathy saw in me. Right. For me, I was like, Larry, gosh, I was rough around the edge. But it's important to go back, especially as you do get older and you've been in the business longer. Like, don't view people as they are right now. Like, that's what average people do. But successful people view people as how they could be with the proper coaching and see the potential inside of them. Right. That's our job. Right. So take inventory of what you have. All right. Step 4. All right, is start having a conversation. So I'd write combos. Probably going to role play a few. So get ready to role play. Now, but a few conversations that would just be staples, very simple, easy conversations that I would write down is, have you ever thought about ... That's just a great question. Have you ever thought about ... All right. So, and you don't need to unmute and answer, Jocelyn, but so, hey, Jocelyn, hey, great job on last week's sales. You just hit your 3K pay raise. So fantastic job. You doubled your starting pay. You've made over $400 so far. Hey, that's exciting. How long does it take you to double your starting pay at a normal job? Have you ever had that happen? Right? Probably not. I mean, if you start off at $10 an hour, I don't see them paying you $20 an hour within, a week or so. Hey, so congratulations on doubling your starting pay. Hey, I just want you to know, Jocelyn, that we're going to have a few leadership positions that we're going to be filling. As a matter of fact, we're filling 5, and it's going to be happening at the beginning of May. Every company has a peak season, Jocelyn. If you're an accountant, Obviously, it's going to be March and April, right? If you're in retail, it's obviously November, December. For us, we mainly work with college students, and everybody's looking for a summer job for sure. Our peak season is the summer. And for us to be able to manage the masses that we're going to be recruiting, hey, we need people in leadership roles to help manage that. Have you ever thought about assistant manager? Hey, oh, I don't know, not really, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Well, hey, let me tell you a little bit about, assistant manager opportunity, right? So the first thing I'd say with the assistant manager opportunity, it's a leadership role, right? If you worked at McDonald's as a fry guy and you were the fry guy for 3 years and you never got promoted to register or shift manager or anything, and that was what your resume said, what do you think future employers would think? Yeah, like what's wrong with this person? Why did they stay in the exact same role for 3 years? Well, it would be the same thing with the sales representative opportunity, right? What they want to see is leadership, they want to see advancement, etc. Can you imagine how awesome your resume would look when it says, I started off as a sales rep and within 3 months got promoted to assistant manager? I mean, man, I think about the resume, and I think about the leadership, and also I think about the income. Now, Jocelyn, just so you understand, assistant manager is not like a get rich quick or anything at all. As a matter of fact, my assistant managers, depending on their duties and how many hours they work, they might be a 0.5%, they might be as high as a 3%, right? But what I do know, Jocelyn, is it's really awesome making dual income, and everybody should write down dual income. So our assistant managers, and you may need to go back so you don't always under promote and over deliver. But for the last decade, I'd say my assistant managers average at least $10,000 in the summer. Now, a lot of that is with their personal selling, right? And I make that very clear. But our assistant managers are selling at 30, 35, 40, 45% commission. But they also, I pay them a percentage of the total office sales or of new business, right? Reps loading 30K. And I just want you to know that it's a great dual income opportunity. And I think that you could be really good at it, right? Specifically, I think you could be good at X, Y, and Z. Hey, from a 1 to 10, how excited would you be about hearing about that? By the way, I'd write down from a 1 to 10, 1-10. I do that all the time, right? A rep, right? First weekend. From a 1 to 10, 10, I read every single word in the manual, right? 1, I didn't even open the book. I just winged it. 1 to 10, right? What would you say that you read it? Right? 1 to 10, how excited would you be about this? Right? 1 to 10 that. All right, all the time, 1 to 10, so I can get a good gauge. Right? By the way, whatever the rep says, if they say I read the manual 8 out of 10, it always -2 from that, right? They really read it 6 out of 10. Okay. Now, but I would have those assistant manager. Have you ever thought about blank? Another conversation that I'd have is, what's your dream job? And I'd write that one down. What's your dream job? Right. So you're going to school, you're a sophomore at, whatever college. Okay, cool. What's your major? Okay, cool. What's the dream job? Then the next question, this is a very important one to write down. What skills do you need to develop between now and graduation to separate yourself from your peers so you're the one that gets that job? What skills do you need to develop between now and graduation to separate yourself from your peers so that you're the one that gets that job?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and then the last question on there is, how can Cutco help? And guys, it doesn't matter what their dream job is. It doesn't matter what their major is. It doesn't matter any of that. People are people, leadership is leadership, and people are looking for us. People are looking for our people. I had a guy named Joe Shurka, who was a double electrical biomedical engineering major at UCF, right? Just hurts my brain saying it. Hey, super shy, unbelievably smart, scared of his own shadow, no people skills, right, at the beginning, right? Well, he worked with me to go through college, branched, kicked butt, district, did a great job. He was for sure top 10 and out of all the new DMs and blah, blah, blah. Bottom line, things weren't working out recently during COVID because it does require a higher level of self-discipline to be able to, if you're not running an office and having people in person, it requires a higher level of self-discipline running a virtual business, and certain standards and expectations I had weren't being met. So we had to part ways. Hey, but what was really cool is that within 24 hours, hey, he had an engineering job already lined up. And they said to him, I love it when engineers don't take the traditional path, right? And he got the job because of Cutco. I had another kid named Chris Todd back in South Carolina, where he literally got his dream job only because of his Cutco resume, period. It had nothing to do with his GPA or anything else. My point is that it doesn't really matter what it is or what they want to do, that we can help them dramatically. So ask them, how can Cutco help? Now they see that you actually care about me as a person, right? You see where I want to be in the future, and you want to help me get there. No one else has ever done that for them. You're that person, right? So those would be some of the conversations. So what I would like to hear, so have you ever thought about ... and what's your dream job? How can Cutco help? So let's go with Michael Lopez. Michael, let's do this, baby. Hey, so I'm a 3K rep. I just finished my fast start. Hey, you see something inside of me where I could fill one of these roles next summer. All right, go ahead, have the conversation with me.
It's any position.
Yeah, sure. Let's just say, I don't care. Driver of sales.
Driver of sales. Okay. So Trey, how you doing today?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to get some time with you today and just kind of talk about maybe just kind of moving you up the ladder. I don't know if that's been a vision that you've had with us, or if you've even considered it, or if you even knew that it was kind of an option. I know we talked about it a little bit in training, but you're currently at 3K in sales, and coming into summer, it's our busiest time of the year, and I can't manage it all. I have a daughter, and I have some other priorities that I have to maintain as well as this business. So I'm just kind of looking for some help alongside. And I just want to know, is like management or like moving up the ladder something that you would consider while working with us, or like what's kind of your goal working with us?
I don't know. I just wanted to make some money over winter break. I haven't really thought that much past it. I'm 18. I don't really think about tomorrow.
I feel that. I was 18 when I started with the company, and I got the same talk, and I was just like, I basically said the same thing. I was like, I don't know, I just want to make some money, and excuse me, sorry. I just want to make some money. I didn't even know what I was gonna do from a week from now. So I totally understand, but I just wanted to like give you this opportunity and kind of tell you what it can be, and where it can help you in those fields. Uh, and I'm really looking at being a sales manager kind of as the position I'm looking for you. And I just feel like the way that you've kind of handled your call-ins, you're very, very prompt about calling before, during, and after. So I really like that. And it shows like that you listen to what I said, because that's one of the most important parts of a sales rep is communication. And for you to have the communication with me, I feel like that would be a good start for people to kind of communicate with you while you develop on to be a sales manager and kind of take PDI and stuff like that. And then let's see. I don't know. That's kind of like all I got, I guess.
All right, cool. All right, let's give him a
I've never
round
really
of
had
applause.
that talk because I don't have a sales manager, so I'm just kind of saying what I
Yep.
think happened.
Well, hey, that's why we're here, right? Okay,
Yep.
awesome. Thank you for being the first one to go, sir. Hey, all right, so what do y'all feel like you did a good job with?
Recognizing what the rep did well during their fast start, calling in.
Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, what else?
Was personal. Talked about his daughter. Team dad.
Okay. Yep.
Not a dad.
Okay.
But
He went out of his way to relate to the rep.
Okay. All right. Absolutely. Agreed.
I was gonna say he put it back towards himself and talked about how when he was 18, he didn't really think about it either, because you might come in contact with that person who is a top, like, or a high flyer, but maybe hadn't thought about it before. And he related it back to himself. So same, Michael.
All right. All right. Okay. Beautiful. Hey, Michael, the one piece of advice that I would give there is avoid all weenie words, right? And stuff like that. Maybe possibly should you, could you. Hey, sometimes I think people get caught up, and whether this is an interview or training or a coaching call, right? I think sometimes people get caught up too much on saying the right thing I'd rather y'all say the wrong thing with confidence, right, than the right thing unsure of yourself. Are you with me? 1 + 1 is 7, right? Versus I think 1 + 1, right? Okay. Now there's just a couple ones, so I want you to kind of be aware of the filler words and the weenie words, right? We want to eliminate those. Okay, and then you kind of built it up. It's kind of like the rep that did the demo, but then we didn't close and say, "Do you want to buy the homemaker?" Right? So at the end of the pitch, it's like, "So, hey, where do you want to be in life? How do you think Cutco can help you? Is this something you'd be open to?" Right? And then we can have another PC later, and we can kind of map out a plan, which we're going to get to that in a moment. Okay. I would like to hear from Michael. So, Michael, you feel like I could be a good. Oh, and one other thing I would say. Oh, I'm sorry. There's two Michaels. Lopez. Hey, one other thing that I would say, and then I am going to have is I think it's Rossi. Okay, I'm going to have you role play with me next. Try to find other reasons besides like I called on time, right? Because any sharp kid's going to be like, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do anyways, right? I think I would probably go back to, and of course we're role playing and making stuff up on the fly, but maybe, hey, I know that you were a soccer stud, right? And so obviously athletes, they understand work hard in practice. It pays off in the game. It shows dedication and grit. And if you take those types of skills that you've developed over soccer and baseball over the last, your high school career, right, and you apply that here, I think that you could do really well, right? Something like that. Megan had said how you related it back to yourself when you were 18. I don't know what your fast start was, but my fast start was 3K, right? So I'd probably, if this kid did 3,100, I'd be like, hey, just so you know, Michael, hey, you actually sold more than I did my first 10 days, right? So I tell you what, I can definitely help you grow and accelerate, et cetera, right? What do you want from the job, right? Blah, 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 and tie it into that. Okay. All right. Michael, is it Rossi?
Yeah, it's Rossi.
All right, Rossi, let's do this thing. So I am, I'm we'll go 3K rep again. Okay. And, I'm attractive, confident, and you feel like I could be a good recruiter for you. Okay. So, all right, let's have the conversation. Ring, ring, ring. Hello.
Hey, Trey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Great. So I've given you a call. Just wanted to catch up with you a little bit. How's your week been going?
Week's been great.
Fantastic. Well, you did a great job on your sales report, and I appreciate your punctuality and showing up on time. Really wanted to talk to you a little bit more deeply, though. Can you tell me about how things are going at school?
Yeah. So I ended up with all A's and B's last semester, and I'm excited for the new semester to come.
And that's really exciting. What do you plan on doing after you finish school? What's your dream job?
Not quite sure. So I'm in my freshman year right now, and studying business because I don't really know what I want to do, but anything that pays money would be a business. So
Okay.
not really
Well, if you could
quite
do
sure.
anything you want, what would you do, Trey?
Don't know. I really honestly haven't thought that far, but something in business where I can help people and make some good income.
Okay. Well, what skills do you think that you could develop between now and graduation that you would need to run a successful business?
It's a great question, Rossi. I would say leadership skills, communication skills, sales skills, probably learn how to do business plans, just learn how to create a business and get it off the ground.
Awesome. Sounds like you really know what you need to do. Well, how do you think Cutco can help?
Well, for sure, it can help me with my sales skills. For sure, it can help me with my communication skills because my generation, we just play on social media all day. We thought phones were to text and not to talk. Let's see. I feel like I think it could teach me a lot of leadership skills.
You're absolutely right about that. Now, what I really want to make sure that you understand is that social media can be a big advantage too. And what we're really looking for is some people that are willing to step up and play a bigger role in the team. And you have a 3K fast start. That's really exciting. You're doing great there. And have you ever thought about working as a recruiting assistant manager?
No, I didn't even know that was an option.
Absolutely. What we need is people with strong social media skills to apply some of the other things that we're learning to help us recruit. And what that will also do is open the door for some of the other management internships that we have. And it's there that you'll learn a business plan and how to really work the higher level things that we're talking about. But for starters, I think you would be fantastic in that recruiting manager role. Have you ever thought about that?
I haven't, but it sounds intriguing.
Wonderful. Well, I'd love to have a conversation with you about what I need from you exactly to get you in that role. How does that sound?
Sounds great. All right,
Fantastic.
perfect. All right, let's give him a round of applause. Nice job, Rossi. That was very good.
Ooh, good job, Rossi.
What did Rossi do a good job with?
I would say that when you kind of made a comment about how you hang out on social media all the time almost as a negative, he really turned that into a positive because that was something that he was looking for. So great job.
Okay. All right, that was great. That was very good. Very observant. Good job picking up on that. Okay, what else?
I would say just implementing the tips you gave, kind of getting what he's studying and how to relate back to the conversation. It's pretty key.
Yep. Thank you, Juan. Hey, I think that he nailed that. I thought I would give that one an A. Hey, the one thing I do, I said that I was looking at money. I would at least talk to him a little bit. Hey, our assistant managers, they do have dual income, right? So not only are they making money off of their personal sales at a high level, because gosh, I mean, Rossi, I mean, you're at 3K right now. Dude, by the time May gets here, there's no way you're not going to be at over 10K, and at 30%, you got a shot at getting to 20 or 30K, depending on how you step up around classes. Hey, but man, can you imagine selling at 30, 35, 40% commission? And on top of that, also making money off of the office. Hey, man, I tell you what, those paychecks are exciting. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about it. Right. And then I'd schedule a PC. Okay. That'd probably be the only thing that I would have done different there. I thought that was very good, Rossi. You freaking nailed that. All right. Once we are having these combos and we're getting people intrigued, excited, right? The next thing would be a Cutco through college plan. I'm going to go ahead and share this guy with you. Let me hit on a couple things. So, right. And then I'm not saying you need to take a picture of it, but what's the dream job? We already hit on that. What are the skills needed? Right. How could Cutco management help get you there? Right. Have you ever thought about ... Those are all very good questions that should be in your wheelhouse, that should be an automatic. See, there's also like some people get things until they get it right once, right? And then champions do it until they can't get it wrong. You should be able to freaking regurgitate this and spit these conversations out all day, every day, any time of the day. So this would be a great opportunity for y'all, not now, but later, to maybe pair up with a partner and role play this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Now, the other part is that you have to show them the path, which is what we would set up after you gauge their interest. You may just want to take a picture of this. I'll show you in another version. Hey, but this is something that I don't know. I mean, I definitely like invented it years ago with my notepad, right? Where I'll just sit down and meet with someone and say, okay, so you're a sophomore. Let's just say that their spring. Let's just say they just started this past week type deal and they just finished their fast start, whatever, right? We're in spring of 2024, right? So it's like, hey, maybe I would change it to, hey, in the summer, right? We're looking to fill assistant manager roles. Hey, so what we have is we do have some assistant manager intern roles, this spring, which would be 3 to 5 hours a week type deal. And once you get good at the role, then I'll put you on payroll, right? This summer, what I could see, and this is like us sitting down, I'm writing it on a notepad with them. I give them the piece of paper. By the way, I've had so many people that I've done this with, like so many, and they keep this paper for years and they check mark as they go because this is their path that I created with them, right? So this one, maybe AMI in the spring, could be assistant manager in the summer. right? Maybe a ham, right? Head assistant manager in the fall, ham in the spring, right? Could be a branch manager, right? The following summer, et cetera. I make this 4-year plan with them. And then it's like, cool, you'll be graduating in 2026. And after you've already branched and you've already been dom there, right? Man, the summer of 2026, you could either be a district manager if you fall in love with it. And right now, you just want to get to branch. Once you run a branch, you'll either know if you love management or you prefer just the full-time selling. But I tell you what, it would be greater. It's better to have, and this would be a line right now, it's better to have more options than less. Hey, you never want to close the door all the way because you never know if you may want to walk through it. So the point is that when you graduate, you'll definitely get whatever job that you want. Or if everybody else wants you, then I'm going to want you as well, right? And you could be a district manager. So you want to make I always just called it like their 4-year plan, right? Now, for yours, obviously, if I'm meeting with the sophomore, it's a 3-year plan, right? If it's a senior in high school, it might be a 5-year plan, right? You customize it to them. But literally, I just break down the year, right? Spring, summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer, fall. Put it on a piece of paper. Give them this piece of paper. You have no idea how many people I got promoted. I promoted district manager, and they show me the paper on how they hit the path exactly like we had planned out many years ago. Now, all right. Next. Okay. What I like to do is have a structure, I have a tracking system. Okay. And I'm old school. I just like the old notepad. Okay. Like literally everything is notepad for me. But these are some old ones that I had, this was an old SLC message that I'd given. I just kind of tweaked it up for this audience. But I always look at how much money, I'll have tracking and you may want to write these categories down. But I go, how much money do they have in startup? Do they have their letter of intent in? It's a check mark or a circle if they don't. So it's like jumping out. Their name, their personal sales, right? And then I just write down 2023, what role I could see them in. Here's the key though, 2024, what role I see them in. 2025, what role I see them in. And obviously it stops once they get to district manager or graduate college, right? What I'm telling you is that by just having it on a freaking notepad, okay, it makes it very clear, right, on who you should be spending your work time with. Okay. So if I know, like right now, I know I have 3 DMs that are going to be going out in May, right? So I know that they're going to need a lot more coaching from me to go out and kick ass right out of the gate. Hey, so they don't go out and suck, right? Now, I don't think either of these 3 will suck. Hey, but I want them to go out, and all 3 of them I think can be top 20 in the nation, right? So I have now, when I'm making my plan, my schedule, my template for the year, right? Like they're in my template where I have a one-on-one call with them every single week. Now, I make a template. Okay. I always like to ask myself, this would be a question too for you, right? On the local level, it's like, if my office was burning down and I could only save whatever, 3 people, who are the 3 people you're saving? You should write that question, right? If my office is burning down, I can only save 3. Who are the 3? Like literally, I'm not even joking. Hey, and then it's like these 3 are the 3 that I need to make sure that I'm pouring into every single week. Right now, right, as a DVM, father, husband, all the stuff, right? I make sure I get a 1-hour PC every single week with my now receptionist manager / DRM. But I've done that ever since she was a receptionist. By the way, I do the same conversation with paid employees. Hey, Lexi, you make $10 an hour, blah, blah, blah. It's the spring. Hey, in the summer, we're going to have a lot of receptionists. I'm going to need help managing them, right? Obviously, with more leadership will come more pay, right? And this is specifically what I'm looking for in a receptionist manager, right? And I'm going to list them out. I'm going to tell her why I think she could do great at it. And I'm going to say, does that sound like something that could interest you? Right? Then I'm going to teach her how to run the receptionist interviews. Then I'm going to teach her how to run the PR kickoff meetings. I'm going to teach her how to do the payroll. I'm going to teach her how to do all these things. I've had an hour-long PC with her 99% of the weeks. We'll call it 95 because of travel or whatever, but we'll call it 48 weeks out of the year for the last 3 years. This girl is so freaking badass. Hey, like, she's so good, right? Oh, and by the way, with the hourly employees, hey, here's what I do with my receptionist. I say, hey, every year you're with me, I'm going to give you $1 raise. 25 cents at the beginning of the fall, 25 cents at the beginning of the spring, and then 50 cents at the beginning of the summer. So May 1st, 50 cents, September 1st, 25, January 1st, 25. You have no idea, like no other jobs are giving $1 a year raises forever, right? These people get fired up about that. Right. If you're only paying them 20, they're only working 20 hours a week. I mean, we're $20 a week extra for a freaking, this girl has like over a 60% show for the whole entire year last year. Right. Not like a week. You know what I mean? She'll make 30 to 40 calls an hour. She's booking 3+ an hour, like so much worth this. Right. But my point though, is that you got to make a plan. I really do like these, putting it on paper and where they could be. Super important. Okay. The next thing that I'd write down, step number 6. So number 5 was a cut through college plan. So again, step 1, what do I need summer 2023? Number 2, be on the hunt. Number 3, take an inventory of what you have. Number 4, conversations. Have you ever thought about ... What's your dream job? How can Cutco help? Step number 5, cut through college plan. Where you map out the next 4 years. And then step number 6, is the constant promotion. So I would write down is what I'm building talk. Okay. Now I had one of my top DMs just send me from his team meeting last night, but every single team meeting needs to be a what I'm building talk, right? It's where are we going as an organization, right? So what are we building? 5-star recruits, right? Y'all can take pictures of it or whatever, because I'm gonna stick and move here. But so if you want to take a picture, I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So what are we building? Right? What's in it for you? All right. So, hey, better resume, travel in the world, debt free, building wealth, blah, blah, blah. Next, hey, last fall, this is what, he did, last fall. Hey, and it's like, hey, here's our goal for the spring. Hey, and then here's the key one. This is the one you want to take a picture of. Okay. All right. So he's got his goal for $1 million this year, right? The thrill of a mill. Okay. And then it's got, he was number 3 new DM, this past year. Here's the one you take a picture of. Sorry. Okay. So it's like, hey, here's where we're at. Hey, this is our district team. Right. So this coming up summer, we've got Tori going out as a branch manager. Right. We've got Emma going out as a branch. Right. Here's what we're looking for. Right. Here's our pilot squad, our assistant managers. Hey, right now we just have Michaela and Victoria for the summer. We have 3 openings that we're looking to fill. And we're looking to fill those with people in this room. So if you're excited about advancement, if you're excited about blah, 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 hey, then I need you to talk to me after the team meeting. And I'll tell you, I can map out a plan for you and tell you exactly what you need to do. Now, and that's got the DM promotions, etc. Right. So do you have a what I'm building talk? And if you don't, then I would make sure that you have one by the next team meeting. And then every single team meeting, here's where we're going. Here's what I'm building. Here's what we're looking for. Okay. And then I always like to say, hey, don't let a kid that's never even heard of Cutco that starts 3 weeks from now take your spot. That'd be a good line to write down. Hey, don't let a kid that hasn't even applied for the job yet, hey, and starts 3 weeks from now, don't let them take your spot. If you're excited about advancement, if you're excited about growing yourself, if you're excited about dual income, if you're excited about leading people, if you're excited about getting better at leading yourself, right? Man, assistant managers for you, right? So I would walk them through that. So that's the corralling process. Hey, now what I'm going to do now, and you need to have I'd write down, you need to have an assistant manager opportunity talk at every single team meeting at this point. Every team meeting, just a quick little plug. I'm not saying a full-blown 15-minute jammer, right? But a minimum of 2 to 3 minute plug every single team meeting.
Hey, Trey,
Every
real
single
quick,
team.
because just in case I'm not able to speak later, I want to be careful too. I don't know if you guys caught this earlier, and I want to be careful that everyone doesn't duplicate this if they did catch it. Lopez, when you were speaking, you said something which I know is true for you, but you don't want to say it to the rep. Like, I have other priorities, right? You're like, oh, I have a daughter, but then you're like, I have other priorities. It almost makes it feel like, oh, so this is not a priority, so you're giving it to me, versus really focusing on like what you love about them and being like, you're someone that I could trust partnering with, or I could trust with this department. I feel could really take it to the next level. Like, focus it more on like what you feel they can do with it versus I have other priorities, right? Be careful with that. Because that can really turn some people away. So I just want to make sure with language, we're careful about certain things. So with that, you'd be like, obviously, and it's not about you getting help, although yes, it helps you guys. It's about helping them get to the next level, helping them be better prepared, helping them stand out when they graduate, helping them get their dream job, helping them, right? It's all about helping them. And I remember being a new manager and it was like, oh, I need help versus like, okay, who am I helping develop? Because when you're helping develop people and get what they need and want, you're always going to get what you need and want. And so don't forget that. And I know that being newer, that could not even be something that you're thinking about. I sure as heck wasn't when I was a newer DM. And I really learned that when you just really focus on how many people can I help get to the next level, you'll have everything you need.
Yep. Hey, and good old Spencer over there with the whiffed. What's in it for them, right? Nice. You know what? I wasn't even going to say anything, but since you brought it up, I'm just going to be completely transparent with y'all. Hey, because I did hear 2 people say something along those lines, like, like this isn't like my number one priority or whatever, right? I don't think that like anyone, their career is absolutely their number one priority, right? Like my wife does ultrasound at, Orlando Health, right? It's not her number one priority. Her number one priority is to be a good Christian because that's what we believe in, a good, wife and a good parent. But here's the deal. When you're a new business owner, I don't know where y'all's businesses are, right? Maybe y'all are shipping $1 million, you're saving 100,000 plus a year, not making, but saving. Hey, but until you're there, right? Like you should grind your butt off. And I don't want to scare you, but like you have no idea what Kathy and I did from 18 to probably 26, right? We worked our asses off, right? We ran all 3 days of training, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We ran freaking PSPs on Sunday. Like we worked our ass off, right? To build it. All about the vision and the dream of once we get it built, then we won't have to. You see what I'm saying? I've walked in my office, unless I'm running a management prep, I run, either way. My life is set up where I don't have to walk in my office and we're going to ship 2 million. And I'm not saying that in a jerky way, but I'm telling you, I worked my ass off, right? So yes, nothing's going to be more important than your family, most likely, or your religion or whatever. But you got to realize too, right? If you're not putting the business like as a very, 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 very top priority, maybe not number one, but very, very, very top priority, right? Then you're not gonna be able to provide the things that you want for your family. You're not gonna be able to do these things, and it all comes back to the development, right? So I think that I just wanted to throw that out there as well, right? But obviously, you want to make sure that your people are feeling number one and top priority. I got 1 minute, so I think I'm just gonna like zip through some stuff, because I just talked to you about corralling. Hey, but I'm going to hit you with a couple of things about your current management candidates. You may just want to take some pictures of each slide. I'll talk about it quickly. I may go 1 minute over, but I'll wrap it up within 60 seconds of the end time. The current.
By the way, we can go 7-10 minutes over if you're okay with it. I just want to honor your schedule, but we're okay.
If y'all are cool, I'll take 5 and I'll do it the right way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take 5. Let's do this thing. Okay, so basically what we just talked about is how to corral people that are like brand new little babies, right? But you also have people who are maybe they're already in CLA or they've already been going through management candidate training, right? Well, we need to get them to the finish line, right? So here's the deal. Okay, and I am going to go kind of quick here, but I want y'all to get it. Our job is to now get them to the finish line. Okay, so you might want to just take a picture for time's sake here. But man, people are emotional, right? Our job is to manage those emotions. We have to manage the heck out of their emotions. If you're not managing their emotions, someone else is. And it's called SNIOP, subject to negative influence of other people. And it's never going to be a good one. I don't think any kid, like an 18-year-old kid, is going to say to their sales rep friend, man, I think you should get out of bed and make more phone calls, right? They're going to be like, you should sleep in. It's winter break, blah, 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 right? So you got to make sure you're managing their emotions, strengthening the relationships, right? Love is spelled T-I-M-E, and I think that's on a future slide. Hey, but are you spending time with them? Are you doing things like taking them out to lunch? Are you doing things like taking them to Top Golf? Are you doing things with them, especially in this freaking virtual world, right? Okay, the reason that Vector doesn't have a ton of development right now overall is because you could date someone online, but you ain't going to marry them online. You're not going to marry someone that you never met, right? And Stacey Campbell said that at SLC. I just want y'all to get, hey, I sat down with my division. I said, what development do we have ever since COVID hit? And every one of them were the ones that still came to my office, that drove to my office, except one, and she was really bad. And I mean, she's a good human. She just sucks as a manager. And, you know, I had to let her go, like maybe like 4 months ago. Now, but here nor there, okay, you got to make sure you're managing those strengthening those relationships, and also find ways to build confidence, right? Hey, I had a girl, a branch candidate yesterday, and she said, we had like a 15-minute call for the day because she had like 3 no sales yesterday. And she was like, yeah, going to each demo expecting to sell, but once I have a no sell on the first one, I kind of give up on the other 2. And I'm like, man, it was Macy. And I was like, Macy, hey, man, it's kind of like if you made a phone call and someone was rude, the next phone call, the lady answers the phone. I mean, are you going to take the other lady's frustration on this lady? She didn't do anything wrong, right? If you go to your second demo, she's already agreed to take an hour of your time. Hey, just because you had a bad thing earlier, like you got to go into this one. It's a new person. It's a new demo. And she had a no sale on her first one yesterday, and then she ended up making a sale on her second. And I really built her confidence up on being mentally tougher, mentally stronger. Hey, what if you started your day and you had a rough day? You're going to ruin the whole day. You're going to ruin your whole week, right? Like it's how fast can I get back in check? So finding areas to build their confidence. Okay, I'm going to have you just take a picture of this. Okay, but an exercise that I also do with all my management candidates is I have them write down on a piece of paper. I do it in the very first TLA. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? And then I have them grade them on 3 categories. One is like, their grades, right? Like, what are their grades? Are they F students or C students or A students or what? Then I have them grade them on like drive, like they're going to be successful in life. And they grade them all A, B, C, D, F. And it puts it very clearly in front of their face who they should spend time with. You know that they're the sum of the 5 people they spend the most time with. You want to be aware of who they are spending that time with. The next thing is that you've got to understand how they're feeling and what they need. I don't know if y'all really go into situational leadership, but basically the first level is they're super excited, but they know nothing, right? Like they went to SC2 and they heard a branch op. I'm going to be a branch next summer. Like they have no idea. They're super excited about it, but they have no idea how hard it is. On D2, right? It's where it's like, as you can see in the top, they have some low to some competence and very low commitment. They're like, damn, that's going to be hard, right? If you're going to lose people, it's always going to be D2 or 3, mainly D2. Your job is to get them into D3 where they have moderate to high competence and variable commitment, and always knowing that they're going to be bouncing back and forth between D2 and D3. Our job is to get them to D4. So again, you're going to lose them if it's D2 or D3. You have to manage each level differently. That's something y'all could talk about on another topic another day, but you may want to take a picture of this. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, bam. Okay, Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Our job is to provide vision for our people and get them to the finish line. I'm going to click a few of these so you can take a picture of it. Oops, dang it. 1 too many clicks. Life's hard. Okay, love is spelled T-I-M-E. Are you spending time with them outside of the business? Okay. You're not going to develop a relationship online, and you're not going to develop a relationship just sitting there and phone jamming together. That's why we have team night out. That's why we have cool payoffs, right? Mystique, right? You do need to keep a level of distance between them. You're not their best friend. See, sometimes people try to develop people and they're like bros, right? I'm not your bro. I'm your freaking manager. My job's to help you get where you want to be. Hey, there needs to be a level of mystique between you and your candidates. And then you have to be more intentional about your candidates that move away to college. OOT is out of town. So keep up with the out of town candidates, and make sure you're spending more time with them. We talked about this tracking system earlier. With our weekly preps, we run weekly preps. You can take a picture of this if you want to. Every single week, they fill this paper out before our management prep begins. How many demos, sales, CPO, recs, how many demos you have ahead? What was your observation time last week? What do you have in startup? I know where all of my people's finances are. Like I know how much they have in their regular check-in, their savings, and their withholdings. And then I know where they're at with all their classes. And I always say if the semester ended right now, what would your grades be? All right. Like you got to manage that school. All right. Because the second, if I'm a parent, my kid's in college, the second their grades aren't looking good, I'm like, hey, you got to quit the Cutco job then. Right. Because school's their number one priority. You have to understand that. And I say that to them. I'm like, I know school's your number one priority. Your grades will improve while working here than if you didn't even have a job. Hey, because I'm going to have you actually report to me when your test papers and projects are. You're going to report to me when you're studying. We're going to plan it out with your PSP meetings. Hey, you're going to be reporting your final grades to me, right, etc. Here would be an outline if you want to take a picture of. If you're doing local preps, you may be doing divisional preps. But this is what I like to do: an opening comment, a quick admin, 20 minutes of teaching, role play. For everyone in all capital letters, right? Freaking role play. Role play fixes problems, right? You can hear me do something 10 times, they're not going to get it. And it's like, listen to me, you go, all right, I'll go, you go, I go, right, etc. Okay, and then wrap it up. Okay, last one that we're going to do is this. Okay, so you have to make them make money. Okay, I have one district manager that's having a problem with development, but he doesn't make his people sell, right? He doesn't hold them accountable to completing whatever it is, 3 or 5 demos a week, right? You have to make them make money, right? We need to have them learning new things. See, if I keep doing the same thing over and over, I'm going to get bored, right? I want to know when the new task is, right? Assistant managers love running that first interview. Then they love getting good at training as the branches and so on and so forth. Every single time you do something, there's someone watching. That's important. Right? As a district manager, if I was to run an interview, I'd make sure I had someone watching it. If I'm doing coaching calls, I have someone come in and watch it. That's how they learn. That's how we teach. Praise in public, build them up, and make sure that they're personally growing. And you got to teach them how to think. When they're brand new, they're always like, Daddy, fix my problems, right? Hey, this happened. What should I do? And every time, put it back on them. Well, what do you think you should do? Right? And I make them think. People don't want to think. They want people to think for them. And I always tell them to come to me with 3 solutions. If you don't know the answer on what to do, assistant manager, then I want you to come up with 3 solutions. If I do 1, then it's going to lead to this. 2 will lead to this. 3 will lead to this. And if you don't know after that, then come to me and say, hey, Trey, I want you to know here's the problem. I've already thought about it. Here are the 3 solutions. 1 does this, 2 does this, 3 does this. What one do you think I should do? And make them think, right? Don't just solve all their problems. We want to teach people to think on their own, right? What else is great is continuously having a lot of development forces you to continue to grow yourself. I give each of my people 1 book a month, 7 months out of the year, September through March, and then April they review their notes from the 7 books. But it forces me to continue to read, right? Last thing is, what is your belief in the opportunity? Right? Because you can't sell Cutco if you don't believe in it. Well, you can't sell the branch manager opportunity if you don't believe in it. So would you want your future kids to be a branch manager? If the answer is yes, and you believe in the opportunity, then you're going to develop a lot of people. If you're questionable, then I would have a gut check on that and figure that out. Last thing I'll leave it on is I love my job. I love my life. I would write that one down. I love my job. I love my life. I love my job. I love my life. I love my job. I love my life. How many times do you say that with your people? When you do anything outside of Cutco, then talk about it. Take a picture, put it on your team meeting slides, right? I love my job. I love my life. I love my job. I love my life. And then guess what? Everybody wants it. Okay. So that's what I have for you. It's 12:10. I hope that y'all got a lot of value from this. But learning something doesn't matter if we don't implement it. So actually, I guess the very last thing I want you to write down in all capital letters, is implementation. Implementation. You already have the steps. Unfortunately, every talk I've ever given in my life, I'm sure that there's someone that took notes and then they don't do anything different, and then nothing changes. Good thing is, vector people, usually they want to get a lot better, right? So at the end of the day, it's going to be speed of implementation. Hey, and I hope that you take these tips and that you have your 5 to 7. Hey, and that you're excited about what you're building, not only for this summer, but the summer of 2024. So appreciate y'all's time. Hey, and I am going to jump to my next meeting, but I hope that y'all have an awesome day and finish your push strong.